And welcome back, everyone. Has it really been a week since the last time we did this?
Were we on here a week ago, or was it 2 weeks ago? No, we weren't on here last week because
okay.
We had a
serious...
Has it
really been 2 weeks?
Yeah, we had a serious
Wow.
Did you turn the mic on? You did, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just making sure I'm covering all my bases here.
There might be some background noise. That's because we have an air conditioner going in the background. We finally got an air conditioner in the studio. So
Jess, we miss you too. We hope you're doing good. We hope you are doing good.
Yes.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Lena, but did I see that today's Christy's birthday?
Yes.
Christy. We love Christy so much.
Christy's awesome. Happy birthday, Christy.
Happy birthday, Christy. Is she on here? Oh, she is.
Yeah, she's on there.
Happy birthday, Christy.
Okay. I'm going to jump over here. I'll still be talking. Just
oh my gosh.
Keep it going for a little bit. You're fine. Everyone tell her she's fine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Keep talking.
So I got past my, fear of being on camera. But now it's like a matter of if it's just me sitting here talking, I kind of get nervous, won't lie. Anyways, so tonight our guest is the most amazing, incredible, fantastic, wonderful, talented, beautiful soul named Lena Townsend, and she's Jeremiah, I don't even know how to sum her up. There's no words. There's no words for Lena other than Lena. Lena. That sums it up. Anybody who knows Lena, all you got to say is Lena, and that's it. Oh my goodness. She's our guest tonight, and we're very, very blessed and excited that she's on with us. And actually, Linda just said, "Go, shorty. It's your birthday." However, no, Linda, my birthday's in December. I'm a Sagittarius. Mm-hmm. Yep. So, guys, happy Monday. It's Monday. Jeremiah and I have reached the point in parenthood that the children are like preteens, and now they're more interested in friends than mom and dad. So, you guys might light a candle for us, because this is a whole new ball game, parenting with preteens / almost teens / what are they called? Tweens, I think. Oh, my lisp just came out when I said that word. Sorry, guys. Yeah, 7 years of speech class. What can I say? Hey, it worked, though. Hey, Cliff is watching, too.
Oh, cool.
Hi, Cliff.
Hey, Cliff.
Hey, Cliff. Oh.
Keep talking. So, how many followers are we at now?
Followers, I don't know, but we have like
people. How many people have liked the page?
Well, last time I checked, it was like 614. Yeah, guys, 614 people have liked our page, which is like amazing and it's very humbling that like that many people actually took the time to hit that little like button for Jeremiah and I, because we just like to yak and talk, which I'm good at. You know, I think in a marriage, there's always a talker and a listener. Unless there's alcohol involved. And then it can flip around. Yeah, so
oh, come on.
I don't know what to talk about. Sorry guys, today was a really rough day at work. I'm not one of those people that can compartmentalize very well to separate work from personal life. It all kind of blends together. Don't know if that's being a Sagittarius or that's just being Stephanie. Could be both. But yeah, today was just a really hard day. I have an individual that, I can't even really say anything other than today was just a really tough day at work. Sometimes, I would say that today, I've been taking care of people for a while now, and there's only been one other person I've taken care of that it really made me question if I can do this type of work. And then today happened, and it made me have that moment again that just makes you question, God, I don't know if I can keep doing this. But I know I will keep doing it because I love it, and
you're awesome at it.
Well, you're bound to have hard cases of it, at some point, I'm sure. Well, I mean, I have. But like I said, I don't know. I think maybe it's because of my beliefs, or maybe it's because of my spirituality, but the death factor does not get to me like it does a lot of people. And most of the time, it's a blessing when these people pass. They're not in pain anymore. Hard part's the family, or the caregivers, because you stop going to see them. We've talked about this before, but Christy said, hugs and loves. Good vibes sent to me. Thank you, Christy. Thank you, Jessica. She said, I think we're all going through those thoughts. Yes.
Stephanie's begging us to not talk about anything good until she gets back.
Oh, my God. Well, then, Stephanie, you better pipe in when you get back, because I can keep rambling. Oh, I have a new project, guys. My new project, I don't know. I just thought it would be fun to, buy up old children's books. It doesn't even have to be a children's book. I found one on mushrooms. I found one on, I don't know, cats, amusement
There's a
parks.
double meaning there.
What?
Mushrooms?
I need to send that one to Ashley. Right? Or Tay.
Yeah.
They're mushroom hunters. He's totally talking about the drug aspect of mushrooms, and I'm totally not talking about the drug aspect of mushrooms. Oh my God.
Help it.
Tay's on. I wonder if she heard. I didn't know she was on, and I was just talking about you, Tay. So
mushrooms.
That's great. I love it. So Tay, I don't know if you heard that, but I didn't even say what the project is. So I started gathering up all these old children's books that are the really well-made hardback books. Okay. Yeah. I'm talking about, if you were a kid growing up in the late 80s, early 90s, the hardback, books. Basically rip the spine and the guts out of the book, keep the front and back cover, and then turn it into a sketchbook or a journal. And so I have begun that process, which I get super nervous because I'm using an X-Acto knife to destroy these books. I hope nobody's offended. And I hope nobody's offended that I'm cutting the spine out of a book.
So
that's a little morbid to say that.
You also have to bear in mind what the whole picture looked like, because you're sitting over there and you're gutting these books mercilessly. I mean, you minimalist, you don't have a care in the world when it comes to personal belongings and such.
I know.
But I'm sitting over here watching this happen, and I mean, that's a book. I'm
repurposing it.
That's a book.
I'm repurposing
it. You can't do that. That's sacrilegious. You can't do that to a book.
Well, at least it's not. I'm not doing it to the. Well,
even though I'm the one that taught her how to do it, but that's beside the point.
Because Jeremiah was like, okay, so I think this is the best option on how to dismember the book, and so he gets his X-Acto knife and he brings me his X-Acto knife and he's like, okay, just be careful when you use this. It's very sharp. Okay. So then my brilliant idea was, because he had it like laying flat on the table and, like cut it, right? Well, my brilliant idea was stand it upright and hold one side and go straight down. And he's like, oh my God. He's like, just be careful because, don't slip.
You do realize you're going straight toward your leg.
Yeah.
We've already had one
stabbing.
One incident with a knife.
By the way, guys,
we don't need another one.
Well, by the way, guys, if any of you accidentally stab yourself, if you go to the hospital, they're going to ask you like bajillion times what happened, because I swear to God they didn't believe me. I mean, the story's pretty, I was sleep deprived.
I have to admit, I would have been questioning too. I would have been.
Well,
no, I did not stab my wife. I promise I didn't. She stabbed herself. And no, she's not self-mutilating. she just doesn't know how to handle.
No, it's not.
A sharp.
No.
But not very well made kitchen knife.
The point, if I can take one lesson away from that whole experience, don't buy cheap knives, people, because don't buy cheap knives and don't use a knife.
So there's got to be more than one lesson.
Well, I was getting ready to say, don't use a knife to like cut slits in a potato, because use a fork. Always use a fork. It's safer. And if the handle of the knife comes off, don't pick up the potato and put it in your hand and try to put the handle back on, because it's going to go through your hand. Personal experience. Just saying.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, Jesus.
And I remember when we were headed to the immediate care to get that.
Oh, I looked at him and I was like, I'm not going to the hospital. He's like, what hospital? I'm like, I'm not going. Because, guys, bear in mind, Sophie was 4 weeks old. And I fucking stabbed my hand, and I literally was sitting there like crying. I never even looked at my hand. Like Jeremiah grabbed I believe the towel was white, actually.
Yeah, it was.
Why is it every time there's like a bloody crisis, all you can find is a white towel? I don't know. Anyways, yeah, there's a lesson. Always don't ever have white towels in your house. Just get black or brown or red. Anyway, why do you think hairdressers never have white towels? Because if they nick somebody, they don't want to.
Right.
But yeah, that was the lesson learned. There was definitely don't buy cheap knives, and don't be sleep deprived when you're using.
I wish I had those pictures handy.
What pictures?
The pictures of the kitchen when we got back to the apartment.
Oh, it was bad.
It looked like a murder scene. It really did. I mean, there were bloody footprints on the floor, and it was. Bloody bare footprints.
Yeah. They were mine.
It was.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure. I don't know if they were yours or mine. I just wanted to get the mess cleaned up before anyone else saw it and called the cops.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. But I didn't. I literally.
My mic sounds weird. Am I?
Are you sure it's not the air? We have an air conditioning unit in our shop now. We're moving in the right direction. Moving on up.
Do you guys hear me okay? In my headphones, my mic sounds weird. Anyway.
Christy said, she's not good with knives either. I intend to make Hubs nervous with one. I didn't. You have to have a respect for knives, because they will win every time. They will win every time, and I'm really like nervous using knives from now on. What did Carl say?
Yeah, he said
dull knives are bad. Okay.
Well, no, he commented about the sound.
Oh, well, that too. Yeah, that too.
Thank you, guys.
Yes. So I have to shout out to Tay and Lakin, because they started a new endeavor, and I want to have her on. Tay's been on before. God, she's amazing. Anyway, she's been on before on the podcast. I'd like to have her on again so she can discuss their new endeavor, what her and Lakin are doing now. I'm pretty stoked about it, and it's very... Well, I don't know. I just think it's a really, really... Just a really great idea. I don't know what else to say other than it's a really great idea, Tay. So, yay! I'm happy for you guys.
What's the name of it again? I know.
Well, the new endeavor. Oh God, Tay. The new endeavor. Oh God, Tay. Tay, maybe you can type what you and Lakin called it, because it's. I don't want to butcher it.
I know. I've seen.
It's a wellness thing. It's a.
Yeah, I've seen several things come across Facebook about it.
What is going on?
No, that's just.
Okay. Oh, here we go. It's called Manisol Holistic.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you, Tay. Sorry about that. I went totally blank. I'm like, I know it's not the roar and the caw, because that's something different. And I'm like, oh shit, what's the business called? Sorry, Tay. Anyways. Yeah, we will definitely get you on. Oh, it means moon and sun in Norse. Of course.
Yes. I can't believe I didn't see that.
That's cool.
That's very cool.
I love it.
Very cool.
I love it, love it, love it.
That's very cool. Yes, we do. We need to set that up, Tay. Yes, absolutely. What else is going on? Oh, so we talked about it just briefly a while ago, but we're up to 614 likes and several more followers now.
That's so cool.
I figured a lot of people are following with their pages as well.
See, guys, so. I have to brag on myself for a second, because this is progress. You want to talk about your phone just died, by the way, or you're turning it on? One of the two. Sorry, I got sidetracked. What's new?
Shouldn't have, because it's on the charger.
So, anyways, we've talked about like shadow work, and Jeremiah's readings. He does a lot of work with the shadow self and introspection. That lovely term that I heard for a long time before I actually hear the correct term, shadow work. Well, I guess it's like synonyms, isn't it? Shadow work, introspection, whatever.
It's pretty
same
interchangeable.
Thing. Tomato. Anyways, everything happens when it's supposed to, because if we would have been up to 614 likes a year and a half ago, I would have been like a wreck, because whoa, what's happening?
I don't know. I'll have to.
Okay.
My phone's acting weird. I don't know why. We might have to use yours to dial Lena in.
Okay. Well, we can.
So.
Anyways, I'm getting sidetracked. Stop getting me sidetracked. Anyways, so.
I didn't do anything. I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Now I've completely lost my train of thought. Oh, yeah. So, here, not too long ago, if I would have seen 614 likes, I would have been a wreck, because when we first started doing this, I have this weird thing where if I don't know somebody, I kind of like get nervous about it, because I'm like, who is this person and why are they following us or whatever? Well, it's taken me some time to finally get over that, so to speak. And I've finally gotten over it. So I see the number 614 and I'm like, yeah, this is so cool. Instead of panicking like, who the fuck are these 614 people? Anyways, so yes.
No, she's not exaggerating. It really was like that.
Yeah. I mean, so I showed our one of our 12-year-old children yesterday the Crazy Hot Matrix. I don't know if you guys are aware of the Crazy Hot Matrix, but it's this guy who looks like a math professor, and he's standing there and he's like, all right, he's like, this is my own whatever idea of Crazy Hot Matrix, and he's basically like giving guys a Dawn, so I have to clarify, so because Dawn said you were not like that with me. Okay, this literally is only pertaining to social media. Like my freak out, okay? I can go up and talk to any stranger, okay? I don't know a stranger in person. But when it comes to social media, it would really, really trigger anxiety for me. I know that sounds kind of odd, but yeah, it was just one of those things that I just... Yeah. I don't know what like triggered that or why it was that way, whatever, but it was pretty bad. I mean... But I've made progress, so that's the important thing, right?
Yeah.
I'm not the person I was back then. All I can worry about is right now, the here and now. So let's call Lena. They're tired of me yakking, which I'll continue to yak, but at least we can yak at Lena.
All right.
Yes, Tay, I am a minimalist by nature. Like Jeremiah said a little bit ago, I am a minimalist by nature. I think she's a minimalist too.
Do you have Lena's phone number? Because I can't look it up on my phone. It is not charging.
I don't know if I have it in that phone or the other phone. Ah!
Lena, we will be right with you. I promise we will.
Well, it might be in there.
Let's see here.
I don't remember which phone I put her in.
Well, here. Okay. You look.
Nope, sure don't.
Look, my phone's not charging, so I can't even turn my phone on.
Okay, well, Lena, we got problems, honey. I'm going to go get my other phone, okay?
All right.
So we're going to switch this up for a little bit, and Jeremiah can talk, and I will go get my other phone. And yes, I have this incredible, today my shirt is Ziggy Stardust. Love David Bowie. That was a sad day when he died. Okay, I'm going to go get my phone. You can talk.
All right. So, yeah, we're really excited. We've got the 614 likes on Facebook, which, I mean, that is almost, if I remember correctly, that's almost double what we started with when we started back with Darkness Live after we got the new studio and everything. So we're really excited about that, and that's what we keep talking about. We've got stuff in the works, planning for when we get our what's the word I'm looking for? Appreciation, thank you, contests and giveaways and stuff like that. We've got stuff like that in the planning and in the works. I know we've been talking about it, but we just want to make sure it's really good and really special and right for you guys. So yeah, we're super stoked and super awesome. Super stoked. It is super awesome that you guys have supported us the way you have. So yeah.
And we totally have a house now to where if anybody wanted to come stay, y'all are welcome. We'll feed you even.
Just not all 614 of you at the same time.
No. Although with our gigantic, smoker,
we could feed them.
We could feed a good chunk of them.
Yeah.
Not no miracle. Can't perform a miracle here, but
there's not enough parking in this town for that.
Well. You're not wrong.
Our town is little bitty.
So here's a funny thing about our town. So Melanie, one of our children, she made dinner tonight and she made baked macaroni. She was really excited about it and everything. And then Melanie's one of these kids that she sets really high expectations for herself, and when she doesn't meet, in her mind, her expectations, she gets really down about it. And so the macaroni didn't turn out how she thought it should. It was actually it was really good.
Yeah, it was.
She did a really good job, but in her mind it wasn't. And she made a crap ton of macaroni, okay? And she goes, well, since there's so much left, could we just deliver it to the homeless? And I was like, what? She's like, can we drive around tomorrow and give it to the homeless people? And I said, honey, there's no homeless people in this town. That's not an option for where we live, because, and when I say that there's no homeless people in this town, I'm not kidding, guys. The town that we live in is,
it's tiny. There's not tiny. A gas
station. There's not a grocery store. There's not a gas station. There's a school, and, there is
okay. So let's
post office.
Let's clarify on the school, okay? Because
the school's for all the rural kids.
There is a.
Well, Christy was passing through our town yesterday.
There is a grade school here. But then the middle school there's a grade school and a high school here, but the middle school is in a neighboring town.
Carl says he's seen 300 bikes there. There is a bar. There's a bar here? Wait a minute, Carl. We moved in February to a different town. I don't know if he knows that we moved to a different town. The town we used to live in, I think there was probably a bar. But I don't know that there's a bar. Is there?
I'm not aware of one, but that doesn't mean I haven't actually spent a lot of time out getting to know the town.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
It's like one of the last small towns in Kansas that your kid can literally like ride to the swimming pool and you don't worry.
Right.
You know,
So.
just saying. Wait, let's call Lena. However, I have 2 different phone numbers for Lena, and I'm not sure which one she's going to want us to call. Do you know? Will you recognize it? Like I said, there's
my phone is still being stupid.
Is the first 3 numbers 542 or 6?
Hang on. Hang on. I can get to it. Give me just a second here. I'm still sweating even though we have an air conditioner in
Hi,
here.
Jenny. You're not late. You arrived precisely when you mean to. Thank you, Gandalf. Oh my god, the kids told me a really funny joke in the car earlier. They said, why did the skeleton not go to the prom?
Why?
Because he had no body to go with.
Wow.
You gotta love teenage, teenage jokes.
There it is.
Okay. All right, we're calling her right now.
Hang on.
Just kidding.
I gotta get her plugged in.
I'm hanging up. Totally joking, Lena. Okay, there. It sounds like a muffled, like bad drive-through window speaker right now. There. What's happening? This is annoying. Carl said boo. Boo. No, not boo, Carl. That was a funny joke, man. I thought it was really funny.
Okay, headphones are going away for a second. Keep talking. Dead air.
Can they hear me?
Yeah.
I thought you said headphones were going away for a second.
Headphones, not mics.
Oh my god. Anyways. Oh.
That ought to be better.
Much better.
Maybe.
Better.
Kind of fading in and out in the cross.
Oh no, that phone doesn't have a headphone jack.
Are you serious?
Yes, I'm serious.
Well, we can use this one.
You're so resourceful. You're so resourceful. Now we've got the phone number to call. So people, I have actually 2 phone numbers.
For crying out loud. This is ridiculous.
I have 2 different. Here's the phone number. I have 2 phones. I have 2 different phone numbers.
I can get your
You want to know something funny?
silly phone here to. There we go.
I actually don't know.
Good.
Jeremiah, do you realize I don't know my own phone number? I know yours, and I know my work phone number, but I've never taken the time to learn my phone number. Isn't that terrible? I don't have to call myself, so.
It doesn't surprise me.
What are you saying? What are you really saying?
You know exactly what I'm saying.
Anyways, so I walk in the house. Oh, I walk in the house to get that phone, and guess what I see? A naked toddler and 2 girls that look like streetwalkers because they have makeup.
Wow.
Oh my god, they had makeup to the nines on when I walked in. I got the girls. What does BR4549 mean? Carl said BR4. I mean 5. I'm not dyslexic either. BR549. What does that mean? Carl, I don't know what that means, man.
My microphone stand is being contrary. Probably because I'm playing with it too much here, but oh well.
Boys and their toys.
Are we ready? I have her number dialed in here. Are
you know
we
what?
ready?
In another universe, we would have already been started talking to her. So,
Yeah.
anyways, I saw the naked toddler and the 2 girls just covered in makeup, man. Like, oh my god. I'm that mom. Like, I went and bought my kids like a whole bunch of makeup to play with, and well, 2-year-olds really shouldn't be playing in makeup because it's a hot mess. Not a hot mess. It's just a mess.
Are you ready?
I've been ready. I was born this way, so. Hey. All right, Lena, we're calling now. About time. No.
We will in just a second. Okay.
Whew.
How about now? Keep talking.
Well, what do you want me to talk about?
Whatever. Just tell us about your your beautiful self, because you know, Lena needs no introduction, but we also have a lot of new viewers, so yeah, you might kind of need an introduction. So tell us about you, Lena.
I'm Lena, just Lena.
We love our Lena time.
I read tarot. That's what I do.
That's not all you do.
I try to make people smile, and I try to live life to the fullest. And some days I'm just human, just like everybody else.
I want to be human. I want to be human every day. Some days I don't feel like I'm a human, but hey. But I'm not like David Bowie in the sense that, you know, he believed he was trying to become something more than human, which I'm not trying to do that. I just love David Bowie. Anyways.
Well, I think we all have our moments, Stephanie. Really.
What is going on? I swear to God, one of these days we will get it right.
Oh, I'm just dialing it in. It's all good. Keep talking.
I love how he says, "Keep talking, Lena."
So let's see. I like paranormal investigations and ghosts, and I like to talk about God, and I like to talk about magic, and I like to talk about people.
You like helping people though too. Like you're born to do that, I think.
Yeah, I'm a Reiki master, so I also believe in energy healing and the holistic methods of healing.
Yes.
But I used to work in that wonderful field that you're working in. I was a CNA and a medical assistant, and you know, I got to be honest with you, that's a hard job. So I got to honor what you do.
You know, it's hard, but it's really rewarding too. But it is hard. Today, oh God, Lena, I don't know if you heard me earlier when I was talking about it, but yeah, today was the second hardest day I've ever had working with taking care of somebody who's dying.
I'm very much an empath, so it was a very hard thing for me not to get attached to my clients, especially if they were there a long time.
Right.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And their families. You know, I could feel the pain of the families and the things that they were going through. It's not an easy job.
Mm-mm.
And there's a lot of risk involved, you know.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if you don't do just the right thing, then you've got to live with that for the rest of your life, you know.
Oh,
but
yeah.
You guys are absolutely amazing.
Oh. Well, thank you. We have different roles in end of life care. Jeremiah and I we have the same goal, but we just have different roles in what we do. But Lena, I will tell you that today it was so bad. I even called the chaplain, and I talked to the chaplain about it today because I was just so beside myself because, you know, Kansas is not one of those states that has the, what's that called? Assisted suicide? Mm-hmm. Is that what it's called? You know, Kansas is not a state that's legal. And so, but you know, seeing like somebody in agony and there's nothing you can do about it. Anybody who says they're against that, come and see some of these people because it makes me like believe in it. Like it makes me like, why make them suffer like that? You know, because there comes a point, there's a fine line between, you know, what we can do to make somebody comfortable and what's legal.
Yeah. In the right, you know, in the right setting, in the right condition, with the right, you know, diagnoses present and all that, you know, I can, you know, I don't know. I still struggle with that one some, but I'm to the point I've seen enough of that suffering that I'm not in a position that I'm gonna, you know,
tell somebody no, don't do it.
Right. So
yeah.
So it's a very fine line.
Yeah, it is.
You can't really cross.
No.
And you know, you want to be there for them and you want to support them, but there's only certain things you can do. You are limited.
Well, and it is their journey, you know, like it is their journey. We're just there to be supportive and make them comfortable.
Yeah, and just so we're clear, everyone is understanding what we're talking about.
Sorry, sometimes I kind of assume everybody knows what I'm talking about.
We're talking about where in some states now it is currently in some states legal for a patient to commit physician-assisted suicide when they have a terminal diagnosis and they have exhausted treatment options and they don't want to go through the bad part. They don't want to go through the suffering. They want to die on their terms, without the suffering and all of that, that of course is not currently legal in Kansas, but
it is in Colorado. And I actually talked to a lady today that she knew somebody who did the assisted suicide. She had a diagnosis that she didn't want to live through till the end, and I don't blame her. And she did the assisted suicide, and the lady today was telling me, like, it's quite a process though to get it accomplished.
Right.
And her diagnosis was, it was pretty bad diagnosis.
I would imagine there's a lot of hoops to jump. There would have to be, just for liability and whatnot.
But she said that, like, in Colorado, there's a 15-day waiting period from when you make the decision to a follow-up. So, like, it's a mandatory 2-week or 15-day waiting period for the mental side of it, I guess, to make you, are you sure? Right. Or whatever, They don't do that with marriage. They only make you wait, 48 hours to make that decision? It takes 2 weeks to decide if you want to die, but it takes a couple days to decide if you want to get married. I'm just kidding.
There is such a joke there, and I'm gonna pass it right up.
I was trying to lighten the mood. Sorry, it was a really bad attempt at making you laugh, because I just felt like it was, ooh, this mood is getting really bad right now. We need to lighten it up.
Well, think about it, Stephanie. It only takes about 5 minutes to decide you want to have a baby.
Okay.
Well, you're not wrong, Lena.
No.
Not wrong a bit. I swear to God, Lena, I was thinking, because I was talking to somebody who she's adopting a little boy, and it's really, she had to have surgery to where she can't have any more kids years ago because she had some health problems, but she wanted to have another child and she physically can't. Well, she's in a position to where she can adopt a baby that the baby hasn't been born yet, like the lady's pregnant that's wanting to give the baby for adoption. And she was like so excited, and I got to thinking, I'm like, man, I cannot imagine, Lena, like somebody who wants a baby so bad and can't, Right. And it's just like, sorry, we're not here to talk about all of this. Let's get on point, Lena. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked.
From a spiritual standpoint, though, I'm a firm believer that if a person can't have children on the physical level, there's maybe a reason why. Like maybe they're supposed to take care of someone else's children or give love to another child that desperately needs it.
Right.
I feel like that's a calling, because I've known many people who couldn't have children who ended up taking care of their family's children or adopting children, or just taking different children in as fosters, and they gave them beautiful love and a home and a place where they could see they had a family.
Spider.
I wasn't laughing at you, Lena. I was laughing because Stephanie was up to some antics in the background over here. But I totally get what you're saying. In fact, you've brought out some stuff in some of the readings that you've done for me and Stephanie that to talk about, and it's been more than one, and from more readers than just you, so but that we might have some stuff like that in our future.
Yeah. What? God. Hey, you know what? I just can't. Because, okay, guys, I cannot get pregnant, okay? No more babies for this female right here or that guy right there.
Please,
no more babies.
please.
I got, what is that? What is it actually called what I had done? Cauterization? I don't know what it's called.
It's, oh...
Anyways, I had the procedure done to where I still have the parts, but I don't.
Tubal ligation.
Yes, that's what I had done. But apparently, like, your body can heal that, and so. But Lena, you know what? If I end up pregnant, I swear to God, I'm going to, number one, send my old doctor that did the surgery a bill, and number two, that child was meant to be here because. I think that if you actually do take all the measures possible to prevent having a baby, and you still end up pregnant, like. That child was determined to come here this time. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not for me to question. If I ended up pregnant, it would not be for me to question it.
I can't. Just thinking about it. I can feel my beard getting more and more gray just thinking about it.
You know, the other night we were sitting out back, Lena, and I looked at Jeremiah and I was like, you don't think Sophie needs a sibling? Or I don't remember what I said. I was like, you really don't want another baby? And the look on his face. I mean, mind you guys, I was totally kidding because I do not want another child. Okay. Like nope. The world can only handle one Sophie. Anyways, the look, I mean, Jeremiah went like pale white. He's like, no, God, no. No more. What about you, Lena? Did you have any surprise children? I mean, they're all surprise, I suppose, right?
My last one was a big surprise. So I was doing everything I could to prevent pregnancy, and well, evidently I wasn't doing everything. Because in that case, avoidance is the only way, and I epic failed.
Hey, we're only human. What can I say? We're only human.
She's 18 now, so.
Did she get engaged?
She did.
Congratulations! Wow. I saw that. I was like, I think that's the one that got engaged.
She did, and I'm a little nervous about it. She wants a Halloween wedding. Imagine that.
That doesn't surprise me, Lena. Well, you tell her that we said congratulations because that's really awesome.
I'll definitely let her know.
Yes, do. Let's see what else. So, Lena, I just gotta ask. So, are you struggling at all right now with just kind of the overall gloom and cloud that I just feel all the time, or is it just me?
No, it's definitely going around. I've been struggling myself a little bit with the hate and the anger that's going around in the world, and just feeling an overall sadness. My heart hurts for people who can't find joy and happiness, and I have to keep telling myself every day, you know, to just keep doing what I do and hope that people will be able to grow and find some peace and learn about themselves.
Yes, well, and that's like, you know, like with my Facebook, like I'm really struggling with even getting on Facebook now just because everything is negative. I don't want to say everything, but so every time I'm posting something, I'm trying to get some humor or something positive because It seems like every time you're scrolling through the feed, it's just, I'm over it. I'm just over it. Yeah. You know?
Well, I actually had to take a few days and step away just because I don't like to see people constantly spreading the hate or you know, growing that that, I don't know, discord, I guess is a good word.
That is a great word.
Some people you know, they don't realize that the things that they're sharing or posting, you know, things they're talking about they're putting out the same energy that they're trying to fight against.
Yes, exactly. You know, I hate to admit this, but I'm going to. First time since I've been on Facebook, which has been a really long time. First time, Lena, I had to unfriend somebody because, and this sounds so stupid to say out loud, but I had to unfriend somebody because of a comment. And do you remember what it was, Jeremiah? It was one of these statements that I just literally thought to myself, this is awful. Like, how can you, honest to God, put that down? Like, how could you even type those words and post that on a social media platform? Like, I can tolerate a lot, but there's certain things that I just don't have tolerance for, Lena. And this particular individual shared something that was one of those things. And I looked at Jeremiah and I was like, I can't do this. This person's got to go. I don't want to see their stuff anymore. Like, I wish them the best, but not for me no more.
Yeah, you
know?
Well, I think there comes a point where we have to be real about, who we are and be true to ourselves. And, for me, that means, not engaging in that type of anger or that type of hate or that type of, just to me, it's separation.
Yes.
It seems like people are just not really holding true to their values and, just facing the fact that if they could share love and add that into their life every day, that we would have that being spread around more. And, let's be real. Half the time you don't know what's real and what isn't when it comes to social media or the media in general. And people have to be real about learning for themselves and thinking for themselves and making decisions for themselves. But they also have to be open-minded enough to see another person's view and not let it affect them in a negative way. We're all so easily offended,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Sorry, there's like a little spider. That was the second one. There's two now. These teeny tiny little spiders are coming down from the ceiling. They want to be on the podcast, I guess.
That's good, because spiders are a sign that you're going to get money. So
well, keep the spiders coming. Carl said mute can be your friend on Facebook. I've tried that, Carl, and it just I've tried that with this individual, and it just kept coming back. So I finally said, "Oh yeah, I'm done. I'm over it. Bye." I almost said bye, Felicia, but I actually know Felicia, and she's awesome. So I don't really want to say bye, Felicia, because yeah.
I think if you think about it in terms of like what we need to do for ourselves, it really is about getting in touch with yourself and knowing who you are and what you want in life and where you're going, and striving for that happier time. To be honest, we talk about shadow work, but I don't think it's really a shadow. I don't think it's some darkness within us. I think it's the soul, like just getting to know who we are. Truly.
Right.
Because the darkness, we all have a little dark side. We all have a part of us that we're not happy with, or that we
wish we could change, but we can't. We just have to learn we just have to learn to what am I trying to say?
But isn't that's part of the growth process. That's part of learning.
Right.
Life is like this constant journey of learning. We're always learning something new about ourselves.
Right.
And we can't blame someone else for how we feel, but we can be real about how we feel and hope that they respect us enough to not treat us the way they're, that shows us that they don't care. You know what I mean?
Yes, that's just like, you choose what we'll just use the word boundary. You choose what your boundaries are, and then it's not up to you whether the other person decides to respect your boundaries or not respect them. And if they choose to not respect them, then there's an outcome for that,
there's it's our responsibility to enforce our boundaries,
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So whether or not they choose to abide by our boundaries is up to them, but once they make that choice, it's up to us to enforce them. So when and if it comes to that,
Right.
and there's no one else that can take that action for us.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
You know, and every decision we make affects every step we take.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it decides what path we're going to choose, whether we're, you know, walking in light or dark. If you think about it, we're all very neutral.
Yes, exactly.
Dave, can you let Nicole know that I'm on live on Facebook or podcast with Darkness Light? Sorry about that beeping, guys.
No, you're okay. You're okay.
Oh, you're all right. Tell her to jump on. Tell her, Nicole, to jump on.
I don't know that we would. I don't know that that would be good drama. I don't know that it would be bad drama. I don't know. It might just be drama.
All right. Okay.
So.
I want to change. Can we change this up a little bit?
Yeah.
Lena, can we change this up a little bit?
Absolutely, I'm good. We can talk about anything you want to.
I want.
If I feel like
okay.
it's something I can't talk about, I'll just be real with you.
Well, I don't. You know, I really don't feel like there's much that you and I could talk about that we wouldn't want to share. Makes sense? I mean, there are certain things, but anything that we're going to talk about on here is fair game, except politics. Just
Right.
throwing that out there.
Yeah, I don't really follow that too much, so that's probably not an area that you would find much conversation in me.
Right? Okay, so okay. Jeremiah and I were having a conversation. I just want to pick your brain about this. Jeremiah and I were having a conversation the other day, and there's something that really just, it's hard for me to wrap my mind around, and it's just overwhelming. It's just one of those big, huge concepts that it's almost, you can't wrap your mind around it. Okay, so let's talk about this for a second. Okay, so like Lena, you know that Jeremiah and I, we mirror each other. Okay, like genuinely, like our story, it really is like a twin flame story. Like there's no other explanation. Okay, so here's my question for you. It is, do you believe that? Because we have free will, okay, but do you believe that if time is not linear and you can look at the past, present, and future all in 1 second, like Jeremiah explained it to me, like you explained it one way and I was like, oh, like a jar of marbles. Like you can look at a jar of marbles and each individual marble is...
Not that we have that capability.
No, we don't,
but Spirit had that capability.
Yes.
Of standing outside of the timeline and seeing the past, the present, and the future, every variation of it, all at one time, so...
Well, that's mind-blowing to me. But, so, with what Jeremiah said, so, do you think, because I can't help but think that everything happened the way it was supposed to, and, like, the moment that Jeremiah and I met, it was it's like my grandpa had to be in a specific nursing home and he had to be put in a specific room on a specific side, and then the person that did the scheduling had to schedule Jeremiah that night, and then whenever it's like all of these factors played out just so to where at the moment that him and I met was supposed to happen that way. Or do you think that it's all up for grabs? Like, do you believe that yes, every decision we will make in this path is already made for us. We're just following it through, even though, yes, it is free will, but if this higher power already knows the outcome? Or do you think that that's all bullshit and it really is moment to moment with how our life plays out? Sorry.
I personally think it's a little bit of both. I think there's like multiple paths that we could choose, and all of them have a predestined outcome.
So kind of like what Jeremiah was
explaining.
explaining.
Not be the same.
Okay, because and then you also can think about, okay, like Jeremiah and I met, there was this opportunity presented where our paths crossed, and it was up to us to take the initiative and make something happen. Or would we have met in a different circumstance? So if we like blew this one off or whatever, like if you meet somebody and that's who you're supposed to end up with, but you blow off that meeting because it's just not a great time or whatever, bad timing, do you think that person will come around, like there'll be another opportunity for you to meet who you're supposed to end up with?
I do believe that. I believe that they come back around if they're actually, to be honest, if it's someone who's meant to be in our life somehow, regardless of the path that we choose, they're going to keep coming back around until we figure it out.
I mean, the thing about that, you know, if you look at that, you know, who's to say that we wouldn't have met 5 years before we did, except that one or both of us had made some choices around that time or before that time that interfered with that.
Oh, that's a good point.
You know, so
that's a good point.
It's not like that. You know, the universe or spirit or, you know, the universal consciousness or whatever it is that you want to call it, whatever it is that you want to call it, could have orchestrated that at any time. Just like what happened when we did meet.
It was pretty wild.
You know?
It's pretty wild, people.
You know, there you know, the circumstances weren't right before that. You know,
like
there would have been other opportunities after that.
Like you had to get to a certain point in your life lessons and your growth, and I had to be at the same, you know what I mean? Like I had to be at a certain place in my life, and our paths couldn't cross until...
Or maybe I was just being an obstinate asshole at the time and not listening to spirit, which is entirely possible at that point in my life. You know, I'm just saying.
Taurus, Gemini. Sorry, I had to clear my throat.
Okay, so I have a weird story for you.
Okay.
So when I was like 11 years old, I was living across the street from these people who had a son who was just a little bit older than me and a daughter who was like my age. And I went to school with the daughter, and we were, you know, because we lived right across the street from each other, we knew each other, we talked to each other, and we kind of counted each other as friends. And this girl comes over to me and tells me all about how she loves her her brother's best friend. And she's just so in love with him because he's so cute and he's just so cool and he's so awesome. And so one day he's at her house and she has me go look at him out the window. And I said, well, did you tell him that you like him? And she said, no. But I went and looked at him, and I thought, oh, my God, he looks like Bozo the Clown. He had this fluffy, curly, red hair. I mean, he looked like Bozo the Clown.
He looked like Carrot Top.
So then, when I was 17, I was living in the same town. I was working. I had already been married and divorced, and I was working at this cab company of all places as a dispatcher. And so I come home from work, I go into my house, my sister's standing outside talking to some of her friends. I go take a shower, I come back out, and she introduces me to this guy, and she's like, Lena, this guy wants to learn to dance, so why don't you teach him? And I'm like, okay. So I met him, introduced him, I was like, hey dude, is that your truck? And he's like, yeah. I said, does it work? He said, yeah. I said, so you want to give me a ride to go look for my boyfriend? And he did. And after that, he has been in and out of my life. And we've been married off and on for 30 years.
I was thinking, like, I think this is the Dave story.
This is the Dave story.
I think this is the husband Dave story. Which that's her husband, by the way, Dave.
But, you know, do I believe that he was meant to be in my life? I can't help but not believe that. Because I didn't want nothing to do with him when I was 11. And at 17, I thought he was having a thing for my sister.
Wow.
At 20, I was married to somebody else and divorcing. And again, which was a horrible, let me just say, marriage 4 times is not a good plan.
Duly noted.
and And then I married Dave, and we went through some good things and some great things, and we had beautiful children, and then we divorced. And somewhere in the middle of that divorce, after a year of not hardly seeing each other or talking to each other, we decided, okay, we're going to get together because it's my daughter's birthday. And we kind of hooked up, and it was like instant chemistry. And then that's how we got Angel.
Oh.
And then a few years later, we got married again. It's like you can't believe that wasn't meant to be when it happens in that order.
Right.
Right.
Especially when in between there were other people, there were other options, there were many opportunities to go a different direction. He could have chosen someone else, I could have chosen someone else, but we chose to be together.
Yeah, well, Lena, that's just like, Jessica said, I'm going to read what Jessica said. She said, you were bound to come together for a reason at that time. At this time, not everyone will end up with their twin in this lifetime. And free will does factor into it. All it takes is one of you doing the work, and it triggers the other one to do so, from my research. So I find that very interesting that she said that, because that's not inaccurate.
Right.
Because I totally believe in synchronicities. Okay. And so it's like, before our paths crossed, there was so many synchronicities about his life up until when we met, and my life up until when we met. And then when we met, it was like, whoa, a lot of synchronicities.
Right.
Yeah. A lot.
You also have to think about the fact that the twin flame is not necessarily the same as a soulmate. They are a soulmate, but they're a different form. They're the ones that come and challenge us to be our stronger self. They mirror everything that we are.
Yeah.
And so it's a challenge to be with someone who really makes you take a whole look at yourself.
And the other thing about the twin, it is because of the mirroring, all of this baggage and stuff, like they forced you to like purge that, like, well, they don't force you, but you do. You are forced to face a lot of your issues and deal with them because they want you to grow. That person wants you to become the best version of yourself, and they want to help you do that. But in doing so, it sucks. Like, it's hard too.
It's a lot of hard work, but it's worth it.
Well, it is. It is.
Like I said, you probably had the worst twin flame experience ever possible with a good outcome, because your twin flame happens to also be a Heyoka empath.
Yeah.
So you got, I'm over here doubling down on that mirroring off effect.
Yep.
And you're doing the same because I'm doing it to you. And so it wasn't really we had a rough go there for a while, but it works, and it's got us both on the path that we need to be on, both individually and together as a team.
And that is the key. It's like you have a partnership, not a competition or a mistake. There's
a balance there.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
We have to have balance. All things have to have balance. Everything in nature, everything in life, it's balanced. Which sucks for a Libra, by the way, or a Gemini. I'm so sorry, Christy. Because we feel like we have to have that, and we do, to complete us, to make us whole.
Yeah. So I'm assuming an Aquarius would be in there too with that.
I would think so.
Yeah.
It's us airheads,
Yes, yes. You need us fire signs, right? Is that the thing? Like, I don't know. I don't know. I do know that, the thing about a Gemini is they get bored easy. And the reason why Sagittarius is a perfect complement to a Gemini is because Sagittarius never lets a Gemini get bored. Like, Geminis get bored easy, and yeah, Sagittarius never slows down. So we keep them on their toes.
Well, let's see. My husband, well, Dave. You know, everybody knows Dave.
Oh, yes.
Dave is an Aries, and I mean full out Force Beacon Aries. Talk about a challenge for a Libra. And it's persistent. You know, I kind of teeter on that Virgo Libra thing because, you know, I was kind of born on that day.
Yeah.
And so, you know, sometimes I'm more Virgo than I am Libra, and oh boy, talk about fight.
Well, and I bet the fact that Dave's an Aries and they like to be right.
Yes.
They like to be right, and they have a temper. Whoo! Do they have a temper?
Yeah.
Oh my! They don't forget shit either.
No matter what, he makes me take a better look at myself, and sometimes that's really hard to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I can
Yes.
admit when I'm a nagging bitch, but at the same time, I want him. You know, because I'm a Virgo, so I want him. You know. I
Oh,
want him to admit when he's being one. You know?
oh. Speaking of, okay, check this out. So speaking of Virgos, okay, so Melanie, and she's almost 13, and her and I were having a conversation, and I made a. You know what, Sylvia? Geminis are freaking amazing. I married one. Just saying, they are freaking amazing. I do love my Gemini husband.
Aside from being one of the most likely to be a serial killer.
Oh, that was crazy. This like list of like the top 25 serial killers. It was like Virgo, Sagittarius, Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, Gemini, Pisces. Right? And it was like that was the 4 signs that are serious. Anyways, but I could probably be a cult leader. I think that Sagittarius probably would be a really good cult leader. You can join my cult. Hey, so
Sylvia.
So Jeremiah is actually a Gemini 1 degree, so he's like
1 degree off of the Gemini Taurus
Yes.
cusp. So I'm a stubborn asshole too.
Well, my rising sign is
I'm a
1
stubborn
degree.
two-faced asshole. How's that?
Well, my rising sign is 1 degree Gemini. We got way off track, by the way.
Yes, we did. Sorry.
Sorry, Lena.
That's okay, because you know people ask me about astrology all the time, and I'm like, oh, go talk to Cynthia because I'm not an astrologer.
Sorry, it came back to me what I got off track about. So I was having a conversation with our little Virgo, Melanie, and 2 of our kids are Virgos, by the way, and they like are just like best friends. Like the 2 fire signs are like together all the time, and the 2 Virgos are together all the time. And anyways, it's just I've noticed. Have you noticed that? I've noticed that.
Uh-huh.
But Melanie and I were having the conversation, and I made a statement. It was not up for debate. It was not negotiable. It was just a statement. And then the conversation, I ended it. Okay, I'm like blah 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 blah. And that's the end of the conversation, okay? The little girl goes outside, and I'm in there cooking dinner, and she comes back in, and she's like, you know, I've got something to say about that. And I'm like, wow, that was like a textbook Virgo thing to do. Like she leaves, thinks about it, and comes back to argue her point.
Right? Because we analyze everything.
Stephanie's finally back.
Yeah.
Stephanie, we did not talk about anything interesting while you were gone.
Speaking of Virgo,
God, I mean, it was like a textbook Virgo moment.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh my
maybe
God.
she thought you were talking about her. That's why she joined in when she did.
You know, could have been. Could have been. She is a little witchy, you know.
She's a little Virgo like that.
Yes. We love you, Stephanie. We love you, Stephanie. Such a great name.
You do.
Oh gosh. Let's see. Jessica said, I'm realizing astrology is everything. No shit, man. It is everything. That's like today. No, not today. I'm sorry. Last week, I met a patient's family member. I don't know, younger male, who proceeded to tell me their sign, or when I said, they said when their birthday was, I said, oh, you're a blah, blah, blah. Well, this individual was a Scorpio. So I'm like, so when your wife, your girlfriend, your significant other, when's their birthday? And he proceeded to tell me, well, he was a Scorpio and his girlfriend is an Aries. And I just started going into detail about their relationship. He's like, you don't even know us. How did you know all that? And I'm like, It's astrology. What can I say? I love
Well,
astrology.
think about it though. Like, people have been reading the stars for, I don't know, thousands and thousands of years.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Yes.
I mean, all the stories, all that, but I'm a firm believer, like, I don't know, like, I can look up at the sky and feel like that's our ancestors kind of watching over us. And I've just always felt that way. Like, there's a million things out there that we just don't know.
Oh, yeah.
But the information can come to us if we just sit down and listen for that inner thought, that first thought, and always trust that first thought.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Always. I'm still learning to do that. It's actually kind of hard.
Yeah.
Like, I'm kind of having fun with it, though. And I'm, like, trying to, if I see a pregnant lady, I'm trying to recognize what my first thought, if it's a girl or boy. Like, my initial, I figure that's kind of, like, the easiest one to practice with, because there's only two options, So, to try to figure out, well, hopefully there's only two options.
Well, that depends. It depends on whether it's twins or not.
Well, there is that.
Yes, there is
that point. But, and I've gotten brave, though, because I'll just go up to the lady and be like, hey, what?
Need more?
Shh, not right now.
No?
Not right now. No.
Okay.
Jeremiah was asking if I want more coffee. Sure, not right now. You can stay and chat.
Okay.
Anyways.
My throat is getting dry, so.
Anyways, yeah. Space cadet over here.
I honestly, where babies are concerned, a lot of people get really mad at me because I'll read their cards and be like, oh, look, there's a baby card. Oh, it shows this kind of energy. And they're like, later calling me up and going, it's all your fault. And I'm like, no.
No, it's that 5 minutes that they made their decision in. That's their fault.
That's right. Yeah. It's that choice that they made, not me.
Exactly.
But I do have a pretty good accuracy rate when it comes to babies. As a matter of fact, a wonderful friend of mine just a few months ago announced that she was going to have a baby. She told me, and I instantly said, "Oh, it's a girl." And so she had her reveal this past Saturday, and
It's a girl.
It's a girl.
Aww.
I did a little happy dance,
Stephanie has a few stories like that.
Oh, okay, I'm going to tell one. So, one of my bosses, actually more than one of my bosses recently had a baby, so, hey, it could be either one of them, right? But one of them, I actually, like, when I found out she was pregnant, I don't know, I was, like, the last to know or whatever, but I figured she was far enough along that at the time that she knew what she was having, okay? And I was like, oh, my God, I said, your little girl's going to be so cute. And she goes, I don't know what I'm having. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. And then I said, oh. And I said, what? I said, you're probably going to have it like, I don't know, September 10th or something like that. Or maybe it was I can't remember the day I told her. But what was funny was like, then she went and she found out it was a girl. And then what's crazy is like, after she came back from her maternity leave, Lena, she gets me aside and she's like, hey, she's like, you're not going to believe this. She says, but when I told her, she said, you told me it was a girl and it was. She's like, and you told me that I was going to have her on this date. And she's like, I was supposed to have her on that date. I was supposed to be induced on that date. And she's like, how did you know that? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know how I knew that. But yeah, it's just stories like that. It's crazy because sometimes we just know things, don't we, Lena?
I had one lady who, way back in the day, this is like 20 years ago, I looked at her and I was like, oh, you're having a boy. And she's like, nope, the sonogram shows a girl. She bought all this girl stuff. And I guess it was actually about 18 years ago. But anyway, she bought all this stuff and she was ready for this little girl. And when the baby came out, it was a boy.
Was it Kathy?
I'm sorry?
Was it Kathy? Is that who you're talking about?
No, that one, I actually, when I met her, I looked at her and said, I said, "Oh, look, you're having a baby." And she's like, I said, "When are you due?" And she said, "I'm not pregnant. I'm just fat." And I told her, I was like, "No, you're going to have a boy." And it's on Christmas, and she sure did.
Oh, did she blame you for it, Lena?
No, actually, she was just really, really excited. She actually told me before she told her husband.
No,
So.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
And then when she had her next one, she had a little girl, and I told her that she was going to have a little girl, and on the due date, and she was pretty excited, and she ended up naming the little girl after her mother and her partner's mother, and that little girl's name just happens to have my name in it. So
Aww, that's awesome.
kind of cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's very cool.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Doesn't happen
goodness.
every day, but
Right.
Yes.
I just noticed, this is a little bit off the subject, but I just noticed a comment that Jessica put up. She said, "I don't know why, but Spirit likes to send me on wild goose chases for the past 6 months or so."
Hi, Tiffany.
She said, "I'm learning so much." I can relate to that. I think
Right?
So can I. We all can.
So why? Just talking from just talking about that in specific. Why does Spirit do that? Why does Spirit feel the need to? I mean, I have my thoughts on it, but I want to hear your thoughts on it, for the folks that are listening. Why does Spirit feel the need to send us on, as Jessica said, a wild goose chase, in order for us to learn something? Why can't Spirit just come out and say it?
That wouldn't be any fun.
Well, that part of that to me, that would be because if we don't learn it for ourselves, we're never going to believe it anyway. I remember a person coming to me and telling me, "Don't go with that guy. He's bad news." I didn't listen. I had to learn it myself. And,
Right.
I think we have to do that, and Spirit wants us to do it in a way that that we're going to remember it.
Exactly. That was kind of always my thoughts on it. Like, the old saying about giving a man a fish and teaching a man to fish.
Feed him for a day or feed him for his life.
Yeah, and it's that appreciation of that knowledge. It's so much more than just the amount of knowledge that's imparted. It's it's the appreciation that you get from it when you have that personal investment.
Yeah.
Well, an experience. We have to experience it.
Right.
Because then we can know how it feels emotionally, physically, whatever. If we truly feel that, then we can experience it. It's like for instance, like KC Meta's coming up, right? So KC Metaphysical, people come in, they sit down, they have a reading with you. I can tell them everything that their cards say, but unless they experience it themselves or can relate to it, they're never ever really going to understand it. So my hope is that they'll take the information, use what they need, throw the rest away.
Right.
I can't be 100%, but I can give them the opportunity to learn something about themselves through what the cards and the messages from Spirit are showing us. Whether or not they use it, that's up to them.
Exactly.
I just think it's also funny how it's the same thing, hindsight's 2020, and now being a parent, it's like looking back and I'm thinking, oh, if I would have just listened to my parents, right? But of course not. You have to go through this shit on your own to figure it out for yourself, and it sucks. But
it does.
We wouldn't be who we are today if.
Are you guys going to be at KC Meta?
We are not, unfortunately. We've got some unfortunate, complicating issues that we can't really get around at this point.
We can't dodge these bullets.
There's
ha.
yeah. So.
Well, Well, I'm gonna miss you. I'll definitely be there, though.
We would be if we could, though.
Yes,
I mean,
absolutely. We would definitely, I visited with Sylvia just the other night about that, and I hate that we can't.
it was
make
like our
this
hearts
year.
sunk.
It's
like,
just,
oh fuck.
just with some of
But
the
sometimes
stuff
life
going
happens.
on, we just can't, and I can't really get into the details of it on the podcast for publicity reasons, or anti-publicity reasons. But it just, unfortunately, yeah, we're not going to be able to make it to Casey Meta this year. We're not going to make it to probably any fairs at all this year unless certain things change, in time for maybe this fall, which I don't really look for it to happen. So
No, absolutely not. I don't look for it to happen.
I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. I'm kind of looking forward to their new location. It's gonna be a lot better, and it's gonna allow for social distancing. So I'm kind of excited about that.
yeah,
But
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
also really nervous because you know me, I get nervous in public.
Yes.
So I'm kind of hoping they'll put me close to a bathroom and a door. My bad knees kind of make me want to, have that security. But other than that, once I'm in that zone, we're good to go.
yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
That was probably too much information for everybody, but
No. Trust me. You are fine,
We
my
totally
dear.
get it. Totally
Yes.
get it.
I'm also going to be doing at the end of July. I'm going to do KC Paracon, which I'm so excited about because the Ghost Hunter guys are going to be there. It's going to be so much fun.
Yep.
The lone gunman guy's gonna be there. I'm gonna
the
fangirl.
X-Files guy. The X-Files guy.
I'm gonna fangirl out, man. Like, oh my god, you have no idea. Like,
I'm excited to do readings there because I know, every time I do reading, no matter where I'm at, it seems to open new opportunities to meet new people and go new places and do new things. But it's also this feeling comes over, you can, I don't know, it's almost like you can see the energy in the room or feel the energy in the room. So I like to go places where everybody's kind of on the same page and we're all working together and it's a big community of support. There's so much love and it's kind of like my escape from the world. Like when I go to the lake and I'm just chilling, I feel like it's an opportunity to connect with other people and let go of some of the negatives that we have to face on the day-to-day.
Exactly.
That's like with the pandemic and everything, Lena. Jeremiah and I still had to work. Like our jobs, we were, what was that lovely word? Essential. And so we still had to go to work every day. However, I will say that even though I wasn't quarantined to our home, the fact that we didn't and we aren't going to be able to do any fairs really sucks. And no, I wasn't quarantined inside my house, but the fact that we are not able to be around any of you guys.
Yeah, it's
awful.
Heartbreaking now.
It's awful. It's like all these amazing people that we love so much, and we can't be around them, and it sucks a lot.
My only concern is being out in public, everybody, some places are requiring masks, some are not. There's some places that are doing, just different guidelines. And for me, I hope that my clients will wear masks because I really prefer not to, so they can hear the messages clearly.
Right.
Because I know with a mask, sometimes it can muffle what we're saying. And sometimes when I'm in a zone, I do get real quiet.
Right.
Other times I get real loud. But, it's definitely something I want people to really be able to get the messages and have a really beautiful opportunity to increase their knowledge and learn about their life and create a better path for themselves.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, Gigi, we are going to miss you and Sylvia and everybody else.
Yeah.
And
they're still listening?
Yep.
Yes, they are. Well,
Uh-oh.
Gigi is. I don't know if Sylvia is, but Gigi is.
Yeah.
That means they heard my bathroom comment.
Yes,
She actually commented on it.
Gigi actually commented, said, close to bathroom, ... check.
Awesome.
There you go.
I love you, Gigi.
Yeah, she's so awesome every time because Gigi always walks around with all these amazing different types of chocolate.
Yeah.
It seems like every few hours. I don't know. I kind of lose track of time when we do that fair, her and Sylvia's fair. But yeah, and it's just you look forward to it. It's ooh, what am I going to try this time?
I'm not even a chocolate lover, and I look forward to that.
Yeah.
There's such an assortment of stuff that even I can look.
Oh yeah, it's
look at and like. So
really just unique chocolates. It's incredible.
Well, what was really awesome after we did the March fair, we did it virtual, and they sent us a chocolate, or at least they sent me a chocolate bar.
They sent us a chocolate bar too.
we didn't even get to really take part in it. We planned on it, but things kind of fell through with it for us. But they still even sent us a chocolate bar.
Yeah.
So.
It's awesome.
God, I love them. They're so cool. I wish we lived closer to them. But
I wish we lived closer to a lot of you guys.
Well, yes. I wish everybody just had lived in the same area.
Yeah.
But unfortunately we don't. So we have to do this podcast so we can,
But that's why we gather at Tracy Metaphysical.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
This is true.
It's a place for all of us to go.
We'll be there in spirit, though,
Yeah,
We'll be there in spirit.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. I have a group of ladies that, we had planned on doing once a month on the full moon, getting together and just sharing and talking and learning. And because of the quarantines and all that, we haven't been able to do it. And I miss those ladies so much. I miss our gatherings.
I made it to one. I made it to the FaceTime one.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I was I cried. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm so emotional these days.
You cried because I made it to one? Is that what you mean?
Well, no, I just, it's to me, there's so much importance with what we do. And I think sometimes I get so connected to spirit that I feel so much, and it just comes out like random emotions, either I'm really, really mad, or I'm really, really, teary-eyed or happy. I don't know. It just depends on the day, Well,
you feel things very intensely.
I do.
You feel
and
intense.
I was talking to my mom, last weekend I was talking to my mom about how even when I was a child, I was so much more emotional, which probably made me the most, I know it made me the most problem child my mother had. But, I feel things so intensely off of other people and places. I never really wanted to go out in, to be honest, I was even diagnosed with agoraphobia because I didn't want to go out in public. I didn't want to be around people. And, I was really hard. I was a really hard kid, to get along with, to talk to understand. And I look back now and I'm like, oh, now I know why.
You have that moment where it clicks.
Still, I don't believe that I was a bad person, but I think that, there was some part of me that just couldn't handle all that was being thrown at me at that time. I wasn't understanding where it was coming from. I was learning to experience things. I had very strong dreams and weird visions, and I heard these random voices, and I saw these random dead people, and I thought I was crazy,
Right.
And now I'm like, oh, that's what that's about.
Right.
And, a lot of what I believed in and what I was experiencing were very different. What I was raised to believe, and speaking on a religious point, I was taught that this stuff was bad. And it's like, now I have an understanding that there was maybe a lack of understanding on the people who were preaching that to me.
Right.
You know, and I feel like when we open ourselves up and we just listen to what's coming through and we experience what's coming through, we learn from it, we grow from it, and we learn how to connect with people in a different way, you know?
Yes. That's really well put, by the way.
Yes.
I couldn't have put it better myself.
Sometimes I say good things. I don't know.
Sometimes, like all the time.
I do feel like sometimes, you know, what I say maybe can be misunderstood too, you know, because
that
I
happens
don't.
a lot to me too.
And then I look back like at some of the things I write. It's like there's this part of me that will sit down and write something, and I go back and look at it later, and I'm like, did I write that? That's not me. That's not even how I talk.
Yeah.
It's like an automatic writing thing, you know? It just comes out of me. But I do believe 100% that when we don't have the words to say or know what to do, that God will speak through us.
Right. Yeah.
Or even speak for us, you know? I've had dreams where, you know, I'm in the dream, I'm like yelling at people and, you know, getting real frustrated, and then all of a sudden I'm watching myself say something in a foreign language. I'm like, okay, that's new. But I figure that's, you know, spirit stepping in and speaking for me.
Right.
You know, that's why I teach my students also to journal what they're thinking, you know, journal what they're experiencing, because when we do that, we can look back on it and we might have that aha moment that says, you know, that really wasn't me. But we can also track our growth. We can track our accuracy. We can track what we're learning.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
And that it also encourages us and builds confidence in what we do, and it encourages us to keep doing it. And the more we practice, the stronger it gets. So
I'm a firm believer in journaling for that very reason. And in fact, Jessica Sports just sent a message or commented saying that her journal entries from January through March made absolutely no sense to her until this month.
bless her heart. You know, the funny thing is that's probably 90% of what I teach in my course is, you know, making sure that you journal, or, you know, how to keep a book about, you know, your own self-expression, or some people call it a book of shadows, or, you know, whatever you call it, it's still the same thing.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I believe that when it comes to learning and growing, you know, we have to pay attention to all the details, because the answers are always in all the details.
Oh, yes.
So,
yeah.
Yep, there you go. There's my class, you know, $1,500 worth of class.
I'm sure there's a little more to it than that.
Well, yeah, a little. I mean, you know, you get me. You get me once a week for that, so.
That would be worth every penny, though.
Yeah.
That would be worth every penny.
You know, a lot of my students are out there reading in public, you know, and they're doing their thing and they're helping others, and it's kind of a cool thing to watch. It's cool to see them growing and sharing that with others, and really being a part of this bigger connection, this bigger whole, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
And so, you know, I can't take credit for their growth, because all I do is give them a little kickstart, and then they continue. You know, most of my students, they take it a step further, and I can say honestly that a lot of them have went above and beyond what I do.
And, you know, but so you say you can't take credit for that, but you need to be sure and not sell yourself short on that either, because, you know, look at the stuff we do, Lena. It's very, very possible that if you hadn't been there and been available for them, there wouldn't have been someone to teach them. There wouldn't have been someone to give them that kickstart.
You know, when I first started learning, I didn't have anyone. I just kind of did a lot of reading and research, but most of what I learned was from the experiences. It wasn't from the things I read. And so when I designed my course, I literally designed it around what my guide told me to teach. And I designed it for the purpose of experience, not just, hey, I'm going to sit down and tell you this. I want you to experience this.
Exactly.
It is about the emotions. It is about the senses. It is about the physical self connecting with the spiritual self. It's mind, body, and spirit together.
Yeah.
Oh, Lena,
And, you know, you asked me-
you're a tease. I want to take your class.
Well, you're more than welcome to. But you know,
I know. I need to win the lottery.
when we first started talking, you asked me about, you know, was I feeling the gloom and doom?
Yeah.
And you know, there's times as a reader, you know, it's really important for us to, you know, to tell what we get, whether it's good or bad. Be honest, be real, just tell what we get. And we can never know if we're accurate unless the clients come back and tell us.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, we kind of rely on that feedback and
That validation.
Yeah, the majority of the people, when it's a good thing, they don't come back and tell you because they're just happy. They're living their life and they're happy.
Right.
But when it's a bad thing, they'll come tell you, you know?
Like,
And
damn it, I should have listened to you.
but it's a lot of them will be like, well, you told me this and it wasn't accurate. And so then we go through this phase of like, you know, what if everything I'm telling people is wrong? And we start to doubt ourselves. We start to question what we do. And about 3 or 4 weeks ago, I was 100% sure that I was not supposed to be doing this job, that this was not what I was supposed to be doing.
I called you. I remember that. Do you remember that?
And I was in a very dark place. I needed to, you know, really know whether this was something I was meant to do or not. And when we start to do that, when we start to question, you know, it's real hard to keep going. And I asked Spirit if this was what I was supposed to be doing. Like, I was like, is this really the path I'm supposed to be on? And then I got a bunch of phone calls for readings.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was a beautiful thing to be able to read for them. But again, not having that validation made me question every reading.
Right.
And that's it. You know, we just can't know. And so we either choose to continue doing what we're doing and do it with love and the hope that somehow it's going to change someone's life for the better, or we just move on. And I continue to read because it's what I love to do. And I hope every day, that I'm helping someone, whether that's through classes or readings or just being there to listen and be a good support for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Lena, you're incredible. Like, seriously, you are one of the most incredible people I've ever met. And I've met a lot of really amazing people, but there's just, every so often you meet somebody that it's like they're just this whole other level, you know?
well, as far as taking my classes go, you know, I'm human and I have to charge, but to be honest, if I didn't, I'd be doing it for free. You know, if I could afford, you know, if someone could just pay off my house and my car, and, you know, I would do it for free, but I can't, you know, because
No,
I'm
you
human.
can't.
And so I have to charge for what I do, and you know, being the sole breadwinner in my family means working more than what I really care to sometimes. But you know, it's also what I love, so it doesn't always feel like work, you know. And my hope is that, you know, eventually I can get to a point where I can afford to just help people out for free. And sometimes I do give free readings, or, you know, I'll take payments on my classes, or sometimes if a person needs to barter or trade, I'll work with them. But I also have to be real about the fact that, you know, they're not going to take fees in exchange for my rent or my mortgage, you know.
Right.
So, a lot of people have said to me, how can you purge when it's a spiritual thing? Well, we have to because we're human and we still have to pay bills like everybody else. And we don't ask you to go to work for free, you know?
Right, exactly.
So now if I could totally, if I was physically able to go out and grow all my own food and live off grid, I could totally do free readings, but that's not an option for me, you know?
So
Carl said that is why he tunes in. Jay, Jeremiah, Steph, and Lena, you all help keep my mind clear. Well, we hope we also make you laugh a little bit, Carl.
yeah,
Good captain.
I mean, how can you help but laugh at us?
We love Carl. We love Carl and Cindy. Captain Carl and Cindy.
Yeah, he once told me that it's not supposed to be Captain Carl. He said it's actually supposed to be Captain Chaos.
And Cindy is Chaos Control, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's awesome.
I actually really...
Or damage control or
something like
that.
Yeah, I actually... No, it was Chaos Control because I remember we were at Roth's house and they were telling us about it.
Yeah.
And I thought, damn, that's what I do, Chaos Control. I need a shirt that says that.
Lena, so just real quick, and we're going to have to start wrapping up here pretty quick, but just real quick, if someone wants to get a hold of you about a reading or especially a class, since we've talked about the classes the last few minutes, how would they
Best way.
Huh?
Best way.
Yeah, how's the best way for them to get a hold of you or to get information on that?
Actually, to be honest, the best way is to just call me. Just call my phone number. It's 785-542-9865. And if you get a machine, please leave a message with your name and a number so I can call you back. Because I don't answer when I'm reading. Like I'll return calls in between. But that is the best way. Because Facebook, if you go on Facebook and you try to message me, a lot of times, for some reason, well, you guys know me in technology, so, but for some reason, Facebook will change the date. Like this past weekend, I ran a special, and everybody who booked for the weekend, it changed the dates on them to June 12th. And
That's
so,
weird.
everybody who was scheduled for the weekend, no matter what time they were, it changed it to June 12th. And so it showed me having 4 appointments at 10 o'clock in the morning on June 12th.
Holy shit.
Wow.
Damn, you're good, Lena.
And they were all calling at the same time, and I was a little frustrated, I'm not going to lie.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, surely I didn't mess up my schedule that bad. My calendar was very accurate. Facebook, not so much.
Right.
Well, we will post your phone number to get a hold of you on our page?
Well, we'll do it put it in the video description along with your Facebook page. And do you want me to put your website up there?
Absolutely. It does tell on my website about the descriptions of some of the different readings I offer. And anybody who has questions can always just reach out and ask me, because I'm kind of like an open book. I'll pretty much tell you anything. You might not want to hear it, but I'll tell you about anything. So,
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, we'll get that added to the video description. So for everyone that's interested. So yeah.
Yeah, and if you guys at some point, decide that you want me back on the show, maybe we can talk about ghosts or goblins or whatever.
Yeah, time got away from us, Lena, because I literally had all these ideas in my head of what I wanted to talk about with you, and literally none of them happened.
Me too.
It
literally
that
none
way.
of them happened.
That's what good conversation does. So.
Well, I love to talk. That's what I do.
I know, that's right. Yeah, this conversation is just kind of becomes its own living thing, and it evolves how it wants to. So.
Well, and my heart is with everybody, because these are hard times. People are, having to sit down and learn about who they are. And 2020 was about new perspective and renewing ourselves and putting our priorities in order. And here we are, halfway through the year kind of going, oh my gosh. You know?
Holy
I mean,
shit, we're in
I
a
even
mess.
wanted to talk to you guys about this whole super volcano because it's kind of like
Wait, what?
so weird to me. Like
What?
The caldera?
Hold on a minute. I don't even know what you're talking about, Lena.
The Yellowstone caldera.
Well, I know what it is, but what are we talking about? Is it like moving around or something? Is it active? Is it?
You know, it's weird because my guide kind of indicated that there was something going to happen with this volcano in Yellowstone in July.
No. I am not even. My Prozac is not going to allow for this, Lena. I cannot handle this.
Like, I asked my son about it, and I'm like freaking out because I'm like, wait, you mean this thing could kill us all? You know? And I'm kind of like, wait, I've been having all these, like, I get this weird thing with earthquakes, okay? So, like, I get, like, a dizziness.
Oh, we've talked about that before.
Yeah, and
we've
so...
talked about that.
So I was doing this reading for this chick, excuse me, I shouldn't say chick, a lady, a woman. I was doing a reading for this woman, and all of a sudden, my guide was like, earthquakes. And I'm like, okay, because I got that feeling and stuff, and I was like, why? Like, so I told her, you know, my guide was indicating that there was going to be earthquakes, and she said over the next 10 days, and the lady's like, yeah, they already started today.
When was this?
Where she was at, and she said Vegas. She actually said she was in Vegas. At that point, I was like, well, my guide says Yellowstone.
No. Change the name. For God's sakes, change the name, Lena. I can't handle this. I cannot handle this.
Well, and you know, the crazy thing is, like, the way my guide describes it is it's like something that we can get through, but people have to pull together and work together, but it's going to be hard. There's going to be a lot of, you know, challenges with it. And, you know, I don't even know if it's real. Like, it might not even happen. I could be off on the dates. It may be a July somewhere in 40 years from now.
I hope you're wrong, Lena. I really will never really say that, but I really hope you're wrong. I can't.
It's whatever, you know. It's like one of the girls, one of the kids told me last night. They made the comment to me that, geez, Dad, this year has just been so screwed up. And I'm like, you know, but yes, it has in a lot of different ways. But you know, what if all of the stuff that has happened and is still churning in this year? What if all of this is the trigger for us reaching that turning point where we can actually get to a better place?
Well, you know my saying I love so much, change. Change only happens when discomfort meets desire, right?
Well, and I think it's also, you know, this opportunity to renew ourselves. The earth is renewing itself. It's a purging, you know? And so I think that's part of this year's, you know, getting to that new place, literally.
Right.
But, you know, I could be wrong. Like, I pray that I'm wrong about this whole volcano thing, because I've been wrong before. I can't be 100%. I'm human. But I'm going to be real with you. You know, if it is something that we have to be worried about, if it is something that we have to think about, why do we fear it? Why don't we just prepare for it? You know, we're programmed by society to be so afraid or so offended or so, you know, stuck, when all we have to do is step back for a minute, be real, and prepare. You know, and how do you prepare for something like that? You trust your instincts. You trust your thoughts.
Right.
You know?
You know, it's, yeah.
I mean, everything that we're experiencing, it's there. You know, we know it. We've known it for thousands of years. I mean, I'm not, you know, as a Christian, I'm just going to, and please don't be offended by my Christianity, because that's me. But even the Bible, you know, lays out all these things that could happen or will happen, and it's very historically I mean, it's been proven historically accurate in many areas. Now,
Right.
that doesn't mean I'm telling you to go out and get right with Jesus, even though that's my thing, But my hope is that, my hope is that you'll find something good for you, that you'll follow your path, and whatever that may be. And if that includes picking up the Bible as a history book, go for it. But be real, speak to yourself, talk to your heart, and be prepared for what might be coming.
Right.
Oh, Lord.
So,
Make sense?
yes, absolutely it does.
Yes, it does.
And don't be afraid. Like, don't be afraid that somebody else or something else is going to happen, but just go with the flow. We're constantly changing. We're constantly making new. We're constantly doing things that we choose. And that's it. We choose it. We either choose to love and hate, or we choose to do better. What's your choice?
Right, exactly.
Love.
I'm all about
Love.
I'm all about love. I'm all about peace, love, and harmony.
Love.
But I'm also not above fighting for what you believe in and standing firm for what you believe in. But you can do it in a peaceful, loving way.
Right.
Oh, yeah. It's all about the delivery.
Yeah.
And let's be real. We can lead by example.
Oh,
We
yeah.
don't have to. When you lead in a way that's promoting hate or anger, you're not leading. You're just falling into a crowd of mess. But if you lead by example and show the best way to do it, and be who you are, and experience life fully, and connect with your fellow man, woman, flog, I don't care what you want to call it. If you connect with them on that soul level, we're all the same. Our energy is one. And when your energy's off, you're affecting everyone around you.
Yeah.
So find your energy for you.
God, you are so right on that.
Yeah.
So right on that.
That's my opinion, not my psychic self.
Well,
Yeah. No, I
value
totally
your.
get it.
I value.
totally get it.
We value your
That's,
opinion a lot. So.
I feel a lot the same way with the thing that gets me is not, I see a big difference between the negativity and the hate. The hate is the thing that I can, negativity I can deal with. That's easy to turn off and shrug off. But the hate that is flowing around right now is so.
It's like the slime from
my
Ghostbusters,
gosh.
man.
Yeah, you
It's
just
like the
can't get out of it, and as
the river of slime under New York City, right?
and it's coming from everywhere. Is
Does
the
it hurt
thing.
you guys? I mean, does it physically hurt you guys? This is something I've been really focused on. How do things physically? How do they physically affect me? And hate. It's like these needles that just sting, and just the anger is so saddening to me,
Mhm.
and I feel so emotional when it comes to it. Like when I see someone hurting someone else, it makes me hurt. It makes me cry. It makes me sad for the world.
Well, Lena, I'll tell you, well, I can't speak for Jeremiah, but I can speak for myself how it's actually affecting me. First time in my life, I had to go ask the doctor for some medication assistance with dealing with my emotions, because I got to a place where I realized that my own coping skills were not enough. And, between fear of certain things and specific, like the pandemic and bringing shit home to my kids and family, and the homeschooling thing, and it was like all compounded, and I was overwhelmed, and it was too much.
And you know what, Stephanie? Don't ever be ashamed of that. Don't be ashamed of helping yourself, because when you're helping yourself, you're helping someone else.
Right.
You're able to help them.
I know.
And so many people this year have had to do that exact same thing.
Yeah.
Because it's so real.
And I'm
It's
it is, and I'm very lucky because my partner over here is very supportive of that. Like, hey, I am very, very blessed in the fact that I do have a support system that is all about, okay, let's we're in it together. So like, yes, I'm struggling right now. Let's figure out what we can do to help the situation. It's not like he's never, Jeremiah's never been like, well, you. It's always been like, well, what do we need to do? We will figure this out together, And, I just feel bad for people who don't have the support, or people who are told like, oh, you can deal with it on your own. You don't need help, or no, medication doesn't work, or you should be able to deal with this without medication, or, most of the time, well, up until this, I have been able to deal with, stuff without medication, but this was a whole new ball game for me, Lena. Whole new ball game.
Well, for real. Like, okay, so imagine this. I'm going to tell my age. Oh my God. I'm 48 years old.
Are you really?
I am 48 years old, and I am a woman, and I am emotional. I'm a sensitive. I'm an empath. I have strong psychic visions. That I didn't like the word psychic because it's a label, but I was really not into labels. But I'll be real with you, menopause is kicking my ass. You put all that together with menopause, and you're ready to just like, But at the same time, at the same time, I'm very real about it. Like I have no qualms about telling people, yeah, this is me. And you get what you get. Don't throw a fit. If you don't like it, don't come back. And it's probably rude to say that, but at the same time, I'm just Lena, and I'm not perfect. I'm human. I'm never going to be perfect. I'm not going to be able to tell you 100% of what your future might hold, because you can change it. Other people can change it. Other things that happen in life can change it. Mm-hmm. But I can tell you where you've been. I can tell you what you've seen. And I can open your eyes to things that you maybe didn't think of before.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But that's all on you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That all comes back down to you. So all I can do is just be me and just do what I do. And I ask people to do the same. Just be you. And it doesn't matter whether you're, it doesn't matter whether you're from, China or Kansas or Timbuktu. You're still people to me. Like, we're all energy. We're all one.
Yeah.
So I feel what you put off. If you're sitting across the table from me, or over the phone, or on the internet, or whatever, I'm going to feel your energy. Like, I can feel when you have anxiety. And Stephanie, you can say that you're more comfortable on camera, and you are, but you're still nervous.
Oh, well, yeah. But you know what? You know what, though? I've made a lot of progress from where I started with it, though. But I do.
Yeah.
Like, at least now I can do it. Like, before, I couldn't even, oh my God, I would just, like, clam up. Like, couldn't even speak.
But when you talk to me, you don't talk like a nervous person. You don't feel nervous. You don't feel like you're insecure in any way. It's like there's this peacefulness that comes over you.
Yes.
And you just talk. And you have such a vibrant personality, and so much love, and so much happiness and joy in there. So many things to give to people. And they need that. We need that. And putting you on that camera allows those people to connect with you. It allows them to see you. It allows them to really feel who you are. Same with Jeremiah. Jeremiah, he gets all nervous too. I know he does, even though
we both do.
Well, we all do. Like, sometimes I'm so afraid to talk to people, and so afraid that every time I get ready to go somewhere, I have to talk myself into it, and sometimes I have to have my husband talk me into it.
And from where I'm sitting, Lena, I think about that, and I'm like, Lena, no way. Like, no, she's incredible. Like, she's, she doesn't get nervous.
Oh my gosh, you would be surprised. even I've been, like, I love going to the Village Witch and reading at the Village Witch. I'll be there June 27th, by the way. But
cool.
When I go there, every single time that I go there, I get up in the morning and I have to talk myself into it, because I'm like, what if I'm not accurate today? What if I'm not good enough? What if I don't look good enough? What if somebody, and we say, well, it doesn't matter what other people think, but be real. It does matter to us. It matters to every single person, because even if you're not worried about the stranger and what they think, you're worried about what your family thinks, what your friends think, what God thinks. you're always going to be worried about being judged. We're all
Yeah.
being judged constantly. And it's not even something we have control of, but we can control how we respond to that judgment.
Right.
So every single day I have to talk myself into it. I'm like, yep, today I got 4 readings. And right before that first reading, I'm all like, oh my gosh, is it going to be okay? Another day I might have 20 readings and I'm like back to back, back to back. And I'm like thinking, oh my gosh, when am I going to pee? What if I pee and they call, you know? I mean, you know, are they going to be mad at me? Are they going to hate me? Are they going to call? Am I going to lose a customer? You know, I'm human. We're human.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
can't
this-
help that.
this-
I mean,
This temporary human experience. I love, love, love that phrase. Temporary human experience. It's so true. It's so
Yes.
true. You know, I shared on Facebook, don't remember what day it was. They all blur together, especially when you have a litter of children. Anyways, you know I'm right. Anyways, I shared this post and it said, love fiercely because this all ends.
Right.
And it
And, you know,
does.
I'm kind of a country girl, so there's this song that I kind of relate to. It's called Temporary Home. And don't ask me who sings it because I don't know. But
It's
you know,
probably a blonde. That
yeah,
sings.
probably.
I think her name is Carrie No.
Yep, probably Carrie Underwood.
Is it Carrie Underwood? I don't even listen to country. I think that's who it is, maybe.
You know, and you know, I'm going to be real with you, like,
Or
this
Miranda
song,
something. I don't know. Go ahead.
the idea behind the song, I have no idea what her purpose was, but I know for me, it speaks volumes because literally everything we do is temporary. This is a temporary thing for us. We have so much more to move on to, and every single step of the way, it's a temporary moment. We're just going to be either living or existing.
You know,
I think to live, not just exist.
You know, if I could, there's a song that I absolutely love, and one of the lyrics in the song, it says, oh fuck, how does it go? It's like talking about how, if only youth wasn't for the young. And you think about that, and it's so true, because how old we are today is the oldest we've ever been, and so we don't know what it's going to be like when we're older. And you really can't, it's really hard to appreciate what you have now. And I wish that everybody watching this could be more present and focus on being present and focus on wellness, because it's such an important thing. And you know, you wake up one day and you know, you never stop to think that one day your parents might be gone. You know, you never stop to think that, you know, when there's that shift in, you go from being the kid going to grandma's house to then you're the parent and your parents are the grandparents. And it's like this, it seems like such a, like I blinked and holy shit, I remember how my grandma's house, I remember how it looked, how it smelled. You know what I'm saying? Like, I still remember when I would open a cabinet, what would be in it or whatever. And now I blink and it's like 20 years later, and now my kids, you know what I'm saying? It's just like time is such a weird thing. Time is such a weird thing. And I just, you know, I think that people who experience a loss, well, a couple things happen. One, when they experience like a major loss, number one, it shifts your perspective on appreciating the people you love. And number two, it scares you because you know that this can all change in a second.
Right.
And
It makes us think about our own mortality. I mean, I had a realization recently. I have a beautiful new grandbaby. She's tiny and she's special and she's magical and she's so beautiful. And I was asked to babysit, and the realization hit me that I was afraid. I was afraid to take that little baby and hold her and tend to her without someone there, because even though I raised babies and I took care of babies, now that my knees are bad, I have such a fear that I would fall with her and hurt her that I just couldn't do it. So I was like, I'm sorry, I can't. I was real about it, but it was so hard to admit that to myself.
Yeah.
Like, and I want to be that squishy grandma that, that the baby wants to come and see. As a matter of fact, I look forward to being a grandma, but now I'm like, it's so different than what I thought it would be.
Yeah.
And now I appreciate my grandparents even more for all the things that they did for us and for all they went through, even in their hard times when they were, they were hurting because they were, having arthritis, so they were struggling, and they were still, getting down on the floor and trying to, playing games with us and, all those things. I was like, what? Like, I can't even tell you how important that is, and making those connections. I do wish I had taken time to get their stories, recorded and hear the things that they thought and experienced. My grandma lived through the Great Depression.
Yep.
And the stories she could have told us, and sometimes did, but to have them on recording to share with future generations would have been amazing.
Oh, yeah. That's like one thing, well, a couple things I'll share, and then we need to get off of here because I did not realize what time it is till just now. First thing I'll share is
so sorry.
No, hey,
fine.
like we literally could talk to you till like 11:11. Just saying. Did I say 11:11? I did say 11:11. Anyways, it's a good time, but it's a good time, by the way. Anyways, a couple things I'll say is, one, I try really hard, like when I have a patient that is still with it when I get them on service and I know they're going to decline quickly, I'll try to get them to like write a letter to their spouse or, like do something that way when that person passes, they have that. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm able to give something like that to the spouse or the daughter or the estranged son or whatever the case may be, that means so much. That's like, I'm going to tell you this. I have a patient that, this is totally a no-no, by the way, and I could seriously get in trouble for this. But it's okay, because it's not. She said it was fine. So I because of the pandemic, families can't go in facilities, right? They can't go in and see their family members, which is terrible, but it's just the way that it has to be right now because of the risk factor. And one of my patients, because what's happening is these patients, their families cannot come in and see them until they're like about to pass away. Mm-hmm. So when a family goes in to see their family member, they don't get to tell them, they can tell them goodbye, but they're not going to get to have any conversation. They're not going to get to see them until it's like imminent, right? And so one of my patients, the patient's son was like, can you just please send me a picture of her? And in that moment, I was like, shit, I can't really do that because I can get in trouble for that. But then I asked the patient, and the patient's with it, and she's like, oh yeah, absolutely. And of course I deleted it after I did it. But still, that meant so much to that family member that they got to see what their parent looked like while the parent's still okay, And
right.
That meant so much. And that's like another thing, Lena, which I don't, another thing was with our girls, I had them write a letter to themselves for when they're older. And I made them write a letter, put it in an envelope, seal it. I didn't read them, but that way, when they're older, I can give them that letter. And I did it when I was little. I wrote myself a letter for when I was older, and I saved it, and I opened it when I was the age that I told myself to open it. And that was the coolest experience. Anybody out there, like, do that for your grandkids, do that for your kids. Like, when they're little, have them write a letter to themselves when they're older, and then save it for them and give it to them. Because, yeah, I'm really glad they decided to do it.
Back in the 80s, like, we were all doing these, like, time capsules and things.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
That was so much fun, like, but you wonder, like, what do people think of the things they find in those? What is it going to be like,
I know, right?
Yeah, right.
Oh, my gosh. Well, Lena, I hate to say it, but we have got to get off of here.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you guys so much, and thank you for having me on the show.
We will, we'll do it again and again and again, as long as fucking Yellowstone doesn't blow. We'll keep doing it.
Always welcome. So
you're like a permanent fixture, it's just not here. Oh my God. Carl said, wait until you're the great grandparents. It happens so fast.
Well, I appreciate all of you and everything you do and all the people who listen and watch today. And
Oh, absolutely.
thanks for putting up with me. And
Yes.
I look forward to the next time.
Absolutely.
Sounds
All right.
great.
We're going to post your phone number so people go have your digits. Okay.
All right. Many blessings. Much love to you all.
Oh, we love you. All right.
Love
Bye,
you,
Lena.
Bye.
Bye.
Aw. She's so
Always,
awesome.
always love talking to her.
Oh my God, guys. Sorry. I did not realize it went that long. Holy crap. That's okay, though. It was needed conversation. You know, this conversation tonight really just kind of took its own
Yeah.
its own form. You know what I'm saying? Man. I need
Come
Jess.
on now.
Sorry, Jessica commented a couple times about Pisces.
The age of Pisces.
The age of Pisces. Yeah.
Moving from the age of Aquarius into the age of Pisces.
I'm gonna have
No,
to-
no. It's
not-
moving from the age of Pisces into the age of New Aquarius or New
can't-
Age of Aquarius or
No, I don't
something like
remember. We'll go back and read
that.
it.
Yeah, I can probably find it
But
here.
yeah, happy birthday, Christy. We love you. And Jeremiah's scrolling back through.
So, but yeah, that sounds kind of fascinating. I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, we're
do a
gonna
little-
have to,
do
like-
a little reading on that. We might have to.
You and I both have Pisces in Neptune. I don't know what that means, but that was on both of our charts. All right, well, you guys have a good night, and thank you so much. We will post Lena's information for anybody who wants it, and please share our page, because who knows, there might be somebody out there who would absolutely love to listen to us just go blah, 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 blah.
Right? Yes. So yeah.
And I can't wait next week to show you what shirt I have on next week. I'm serious, guys. Like sometimes I'll
It's
get on
supposed
this.
to be here tomorrow.
What? It wasn't supposed to be here till like July, really?
Yeah.
That makes me so happy. My Scentsy order and my shirt should be here. That's exciting. But yeah, so that's my new thing. Like I'm like kind of obsessed with ordering shirts off Amazon. So I opened a can of worms called Amazon. So
Yeah.
all right, we'll get off of here. You guys have a wonderful week. We will see you next Monday. Do we know what we're doing
We
next
have a
Monday?
potential for a guest on Monday. Well, we have a few potentials for our next guests on next Monday. I don't have it quite confirmed yet, but I will get that confirmed and posted just as soon as I possibly can. Hopefully tomorrow, and hopefully the night shift dementia doesn't set in and make me space it like I have been doing. So.
Remember, adventure before dementia.
Right?
I got a sticker that says that actually. So, okay, you
All
guys
right.
take care, be safe, and wash your hands and spread the happiness. So,
Don't forget.
bye.
Don't forget. Don't be afraid of the dark.
Yeah, don't forget to imagine. No,
The wrong show.
wrong show. I'm not even on that show.
I kind of mixed it up too
Yeah.
there.
Don't be afraid
In
of
the
the dark.
meantime, don't be afraid of the dark.
Ooh.
That's what it's supposed to say.
There we go.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. See you next week.
Oh, I need.
That was fun.